Hey everybody, it's your girl Tia, and today I wanted to talk to you about a story I came across about a 25-year-old woman named Nicole Jones who was shot 17 times by her boyfriend's other girlfriend. Yes, you heard me correctly. Now, Nicole's situation is unique, yet not uncommon. She shared her story on a blog titled #OurStories, which highlights extraordinary people who have overcome some form of adversity. Nicole, like most women, thought that she found the one. And a year into the relationship, she started to receive text messages and phone calls from this other woman. Now, that wasn't enough, but once the woman started threatening her and even popping up at her house, that's when Nicole realized that she needed to get out of the situation. But that wasn't enough for the other woman. Once she found out that she was just with her man the night before, she went into a rage, showed up again at Nicole's house, but this time she shot her 17 times as she fled the scene.
At the time, I was seeing this guy. Almost a year into our relationship, he began to be unfaithful. The girl my boyfriend was cheating on me with, she became a living nightmare. She would always come to my house when she knew me and him was together. He was just playing the middleman. He was telling her one thing, telling me one thing, and I just got fed up with it after a while. Me and him had kind of drifted apart. I decided just to chill out on the couch and watch some television, and then I got a phone call from the girl. I answered, and it was her in the bed with him. She had went through his phone that night and seen that me and him were together the day prior. She was very upset. I said, "You can have him. He's clearly there with you. Good luck." So I hung up the phone and she called me back. She said, "I'll come shoot up your windows." I just wrote it off as fight talk. I started to get ready to go to bed. My boyfriend at the time, he had this old van, has this like loud motor. I hear the motor of his van, so I look out the windows and it was his van, and I see someone in all black come out the car. I just immediately ran outside, and as I'm walking up, I'm realizing it's the girl. I asked her, what was she doing here? She pulls out the gun, and I just froze. I just knew she was going to kill me at that moment. She immediately just started shooting. The first 3 shots, she hit my stomach. It just felt like the wind got knocked out of my body. Felt like I was in a room of fire. I was face down on the ground, and she's still continuing to shoot me in my back and in my legs. And I'm just screaming for help. My neighbor on the top floor, I hear her scream out her window, "Stop, leave her alone." I called the police. She's just saying, "Die, die." And that moment, I just said, "Okay, Nicole, you gotta stop screaming. You have to play dead, because she's not gonna leave until she thinks you're dead." Eventually, she ran off to the car.
Now, Nicole was predicted to not be able to walk again and was in an induced coma for about 4 days. By the grace of God, she was able to walk a couple of weeks later after she went to rehab, and they eventually did find the woman, and she's currently awaiting trial. And what happened to that gentleman, you might ask? Well, he's sticking by the side of the woman who shot her. Yeah, I know. I said gentleman, but what I want to say may get censored and have this video deleted off of YouTube. I'm just so grateful that Nicole was able to overcome the situation and is able to walk and hopefully pick up the pieces of her life, because she is only 25 and still has so much of her life to live. But I wanted to also point out, ladies, that I want you to start paying attention to the red flags. Sometimes, yes, I understand we don't always see them. But in cases like this, where the woman was playing on her phone, she was sending her text messages, she was threatening her, Nicole should have ended the situation a long time ago. But you know how we do. We love hard. Sometimes we're emotional. And depending on what the man is feeding us, we believe him. And unfortunately, in this situation, it could have taken Nicole's life. What I also wanted to point out, ladies, is that if you are on the receiving end, like that other woman, it is never that serious for you to want to harass the other woman, let alone go to her house and shoot her or try to kill her or anything like that. Because let's be honest, when she shot her 17 times, I believe she was in such a rage. Her intent was to kill Nicole to get her out of the picture. But the thing that you fail to realize is, even if Nicole was out of the picture, I have a feeling this guy would have probably moved on to another chick as well. And it just would have been a cycle of drama and stalking and all this other stuff that's not worth it. And for my men out there, I want you to start being honest. If you know that you're not ready to commit to one woman, or if you're in a situation that you're trying to end, or maybe you're in a situation where you're about to get a divorce, whatever the case may be honest. You will be surprised at how many women will still stick by your side or will even wait for you until that situation ends. But what Nicole went through, I don't want to hear or see any more of my people go through. Now, that doesn't just mean, the men are the only ones that do this. There are women out there who do the same thing to men. And unfortunately, it's not really talked about as much because it happened to a man. But I just want you all to love yourself, not to settle. And when you do see those red flags, I want to make sure that you leave those situations because it could cost you your life. So let me know what you think about this video. And I also want to hear your personal accounts of maybe situations that you've been in or maybe ones that you avoided. Let's talk about it. All right, everybody. Peace.
It's a matter of opinion.